Hello YouTube, welcome back. We are going to kick off our next video, number 3, with using LumaFusion again. As you saw in video 2, I just got some basics going with the LumaFusion, doing some transitions, getting used to creating and adding material, setting up a file system to make it easier for all the work to be in the same location. With this video, I wanted to go ahead and try out some more features, work again with some more transitions. Again, just starting off, so this is really basic. Not looking at a whole lot of more advanced tool usage. So with that, again, this particular video, I'm actually looking at doing some voiceover. I recently went out and did a trip in the Petoskey area of Michigan and wanted to test out the Fujifilm 70-300 lens. I just recently picked that lens up to use and wanted to use it for trips as a one and done type camera. And if I was to go ahead, or lens, if I was to go ahead and use that lens with something else, maybe something like the XF23 or the XF35, in case I'm walking around and want to get some street style photography shots, or just basically working with a prime. So what I did in this particular one, to make use of the variety of applications this lens could be used for, especially using it as a one and done type of scenario, I paired it up with my X Pro 3, went out on one of the local bike paths in Petoskey, and basically did a walk for 2 hours doing some shots. I did shots ranging from those using the telephoto aspect of it, zooming all the way out to the 300mm, and then also wide open at the 70. I also attempted, as I did on a recent Facebook post, to use the close focus feature of that 300mm to zoom in on some subjects to give more of a macro style shot. And basically walked around and got a good number of photos, which I'm going to share with everybody. And again, add some voiceover on my feelings at the time, my thought, what was going through my head while I was walking around taking these shots. Again, using the X Pro 3, using the XF70-300, kind of a cloudy, hazy day due to the smoke coming in from the west and from Canada. And with the sun up, got pretty hot. There were some shady areas that I was able to get into. So again, kind of a good opportunity to really kind of take this lens on a nice little test shoot and see how it's going to fare for me going forward. And I will say upfront before the video starts, with the photos that I took, I'm really happy with this lens and really happy that I purchased it. I was actually already happy with it beforehand because I was able to do some backyard shots and took a very good macro shot of a horsefly and using that close focus feature of that 300. So I'll probably throw that one in to start with and then go right into the Petoskey photos. So with that, enjoy. Feel free to leave comments if you like. Feel free to subscribe if you like. Again, just want to use YouTube as a platform for me to get comfortable making video and using LumaFusion on my iPad, because I want to do all of this on my iPad. I don't want to do anything on a computer. I want to be on a mobile setup. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started with those photos. Enjoy. Okay, so on this first photo and the next one, I did the 300mm zoom. That, I think it captured the birds really nicely. Was on the patio of the inn that we're in and pretty much taking advantage of that. Then we went to some macro shots of a lot of the gardens around the area. And, you know, like everything, it all really depends on how steady you are. So I moved on the flowers, and as I was taking them, there were some bees. I wanted to go ahead and see what it can do while I was focused on the flowers, and then decided, you know, let's see if I can also capture the bees, seeing how fast the focus was. Pretty pleased with it, as well as the macro or close focus ability of the lens. Some of the bee shots really turned out nice. And then of course, you know, fully extended on the 300mm zoom, you have to be careful of a little bit of camera shake. So wanted to see what that comparison was between open wide and all the way zoomed out. So these past two photos were for that. And then I decided to start walking around and just basically having fun with the different zoom ranges and capturing things. Came across a dragonfly. I wanted to see if I can handhold again and get some close focus. As I did that, I noticed that again, you have to have a steady hand, and you can get some really, really good results. There was a waterfall happening with some rocks. Decided to capture that again. Really like this one for the blur I was able to get in the background, as well as the next couple of photos coming up of this flower. Got some really good close focus with them, as well as a good blur in the background. This one struck my eye while I was walking through a path in a park, and again wanted to zoom in and zoom out and see what that quality of picture could be like. Same thing with this one. I got to a point where I can look back toward a pier and wanted to see what the detail was like, and I think it was pretty good. A couple of more shots coming up with me just again walking through a path in a park, getting some close focus, wide angle, and playing around with all of the different ranges, and until of course I came across a very not so welcoming sign telling me I need to go back the other way because the path was closed. When I was heading back to the inn that I stayed in, I came across these birds, and I haven't quite looked up on my app to see what they are, but they followed me around, and I was pretty pleased at the photos I was able to get of them with the lens. Did a couple of more close, or I should say zoomed out and wide open shots. The bay was really nice, even with the haze and the smog and the smoke. Again, walking along the path, just having some fun. Came across this tree, looked like it had some damage on the branch, and a lot of sap came out. Saw it as a perfect opportunity to get some close focus shots as well. I think the camera and the lens did a fantastic job. Usually, you think of IBIS assisting you, and there is optical image stabilization in the lens, but I was pretty pleased that I didn't have to couple it with my X-T4 to get some pretty good handheld shots with all of these photos you're seeing are. So I want to say, for those folks who are looking to get this lens and don't know if it'll work well with a Fuji camera that doesn't have IBIS, hope you're enjoying these photos. I believe it worked well. Finish off, here's that photo of the horsefly. Thanks again, YouTube. You guys have a great one.